The ruler who initially governed Aurea, king of Aurea, embarks on an unsuccessful attack against a dragon that resides within his kingdom. The soldiers of the king discover the dragon's offspring in its cave and eliminate them. Regrettably, all of the king's soldiers perish, leaving the ruler vulnerable to the dragon's desires, which the king vowed to offer the dragon 3 of his daughters from every generation. Many centuries later, Elodie, the young daughter of Lord Bayford, received a proposal from the Queen of Aurea, Isabel, to marry her son, Prince Henry. King Roderick commands a fleet of ships and carriages filled with gold. Urged by her father, Lord Boyford, Elodie agrees the marriage in order to assist their impoverished people. Lord Boyford informs his daughter Elodie that their kingdom is located far to the north and experiences severe winters. He also mentions that their supplies are depleted and they will not survive until the next summer without assistance. Floria is Elodie's younger sister. Elodie, along with Lord and Lady Bayford and Floria, embarks on a journey to Aurea. It is revealed that Elodie possesses exceptional skills in designing mazes. Upon their arrival in Aurea, the Bayfords are amazed by the wealth and grandeur of the kingdom. During the night, from her chambers, Elodie notices a fire burning at the peak of a nearby mountain. Next day, the two families brought Elodie and Prince Henry together to be introduced to each other at the location, and the two couples went for a walk to get acquainted. Initially, Elodie and Henry show little interest in each other, but they gradually form a bond as they both share a desire for travel. Lord Boyford has a private discussion with the Queen and is offered an unimaginable amount of gold. However, Lady Boyford senses that something troubles him when he emerges from the meeting. Elodie's stepmother, Lady Bayford, fails to establish a friendship with Queen Isabel. Isabel insults Lady Bayford by mentioning that she is the daughter of a rope maker and lacks royal lineage. Isabel makes it clear that this marriage is purely a transaction, as her family requires a bride and Bayford needs financial assistance. Lady Bayford hurried to her stepdaughter's room and advised her against marrying Prince Henry, expressing her concerns about a foreboding feeling she had. Isabel even forgets Elodie's name and mistakenly refers to her as Eloise. Lady Bayford desperately implores Elodie to call off the engagement, but her efforts prove futile. After the wedding ceremony, Elodie and Henry participate in an age-old tradition in the mountains to mark their union. Isabel recounts the tale of their ancestors encountering a dragon that terrorized their villages when they first settled in the area. The dragon, the last of its kind, was fierce and savage. The king attempted to defeat the dragon in its lair, but was unsuccessful. Isabel narrates the pact made between the first king and the dragon, where he had to sacrifice his 3 daughters for peace. The king prioritized the welfare of his people over the love for his daughters. This sacrifice is remembered and honored every generation. During a ritual where their hands are cut and joined together, Henry carries Elodie across a narrow path above the dragon's lair. At this moment, he utters an apology and throws her into the chasm. Upon regaining consciousness after the fall, Elodie realizes that she is the intended sacrifice. Her screams awaken the dragon. Elodie discovers various pieces of jewelry at the bottom of the chasm, indicating that she is not the first victim. As she converses with the dragon, she learns that the dragon mistakes her for a member of the royal Aurian family due to the masking of her blood scent by Henry's blood during the ceremony. Elodie manages to escape the dragon after sustaining a burn on her leg and stumbles upon a luminous cave filled with glowing slugs, which she gathers as a source of light. In a chamber, she finds a message that reads, "Safe here she cannot reach," along with the names of previous victims and a map etched on the wall. While Elodie rests, the slugs miraculously heal her burn. Elodie then comprehends the healing abilities of the slugs and places her other hand to be healed. Elodie diligently follows the map, only to find herself at a dead end on the steppe mountainside. Overwhelmed with despair, she realizes that there is no way to escape from the dragon's lair. As she explores further, she stumbles upon the remains of deceased dragon hatchlings, which sheds light on the reason behind the royal sacrifices. Elodie deduces that the first king had killed 3 dragon hatchlings, provoking the dragon to retaliate. In a desperate plea for mercy, the first king offered to pay any price, leading to the dragon's demand for 3 daughters from their bloodline to be sacrificed in each generation to maintain peace. Just as hope seems lost, a rescue party led by Lord Bayford arrives at the scene. However, when confronted by the dragon, Lord Bayford confesses that he had traded his daughter's life for gold and the prosperity of his people, burdened by the guilt that followed. The dragon mercilessly takes their lives, but this diversion allows Elodie to seize the opportunity and escape from the treacherous mountain. Taking one of the rescue party's horses, she conceals herself beneath a rock while the dragon futile attempts to burn the surrounding area in pursuit. The fiery aftermath serves as a signal to Isabel of Elodie's failed sacrifice, prompting her to abduct Elodie's younger sister, Floria, as a substitute. Lady Bayford rides out to inform Elodie of Isabel's actions, prompting Elodie to return to the mountain with the sole purpose of rescuing Floria, who is left alive as bait. Elodie devises a plan to divert the dragon's attention towards Floria. Instructing her sister to hide, she fearlessly confronts the dragon, attempting to convince her that they were deceived by the Orions. The claim made by the Orions is that the king's attack on the dragon was solely for the purpose of protecting his people. However, the dragon argues that it was an unprovoked act. Elodie, on the other hand, suggests that the mingling of blood during the wedding ceremony between the brides and the Orion royals made the dragon perceive the princesses as part of the Orion royalty. Despite Elodie's explanation, the dragon refuses to believe her and proceeds to attack her. However, Elodie cleverly tricks the dragon into burning itself by redirecting its fire towards a rock. With the dragon now under her control, Elodie reveals that just like the first king, the dragon has been killing innocent daughters for centuries. In an act of reconciliation, Elodie uses the glowing slugs to heal both herself and the dragon, thus earning its trust and loyalty. Subsequently, Elodie disrupts another wedding at the palace, which would have been the 3rd princess offered to the dragon in this generation, exposing the treachery of the Orions. Elodie advises the new bride and her family to flee, while the dragon sets fire to the palace, eliminating all the Orion royals and nobles inside. Several days later, Elodie, Floria, and Lady Bayford sail back home, accompanied by the dragon and laden with supplies.